What's up everyone? Today we're going to be looking at 10 4-star or free-to-play characters that you want to build in Honkai Star Rail. So before we start, I would like to make it clear that this is not a tier list. So the order in which the characters are shown are not related to their performance. With that out of the way, let's get started. Starting with Sushang. He's a physical damage character of the Path of the Hunt, which means she specializes in dealing huge amounts of damage to one enemy. She's basically the physical damage queen of the game. She's only beaten by ZeiRei and Yanxing in terms of single target damage, both of whom are 5 stars. Her ultimate gives her an extra turn right after it's used, boosts her attack for the next 2 turns, and gives her extra chances to proc her blade stance damage. She's overall a very strong offensive character, and I would say a very good character to build. Next up, we have Hook, a fire damage unit of the Path of Destruction. She's all about dealing lots of fire damage to her enemies. Her skill has a chance to trigger burn on her enemies, which gives them damage over time at the start of every turn. Although after using her ultimate, her kill is able to damage adjacent enemies, her kit is mostly single target oriented. A very good character to build, especially if you don't have a Meko. Up next is Sampo. Yeah, he's a wind character of the Nihility class, which is specialized in debuffing enemies. But don't let his Nihility path fool you. He's able to deal impressive AoE damage with his kit. His skill allows him to deal damage to multiple enemies with his bouncing daggers, and his talent enables him to afflict wind shear to enemies hit, which causes him to take DOT damage at the start of every turn. His wind shear damage over time makes him very good at breaking down toughness bars of enemies. Over that, his ultimate increases DOT damage that the enemies take, which synergizes very well with his kit, and also other characters might provide DOT damage. Overall, a very good damage dealer and support. Now we have Servo, a lightning character of the Erudition path. He's able to output incredible amounts of AoE damage, which is only surpassed by the limited 5-star Dingyun. Her skill is pseudo AoE, dealing lower damage to adjacent enemies, with a chance to inflict shock status for 2 turns, causing them to take damage over time at the beginning of each turn. Her ultimate deals AoE damage, extending the duration of the stopped status by 2 turns, and her talent makes every shocked enemy take additional lightning damage every time she attacks. She's free from the pre-registration rewards, and her light cone is also free, which you can get from the All Styles invite event before the game starts, which makes her a easy to build yet extremely strong character. Alright, next is... Yep, it's everyone's favorite guru, Hurta. She also belongs to the path of erudition and is an ice damage character. As an erudition character, she specializes in AoE attacks. Her skill deals AoE ice damage to all enemies, and enemies with health higher than 50% receive additional damage. Her ultimate is simple, dealing AoE damage to all enemies. Her talent is where it gets interesting. If an ally attacks and gets an enemy's health to below 50%, she will do a follow-up attack dealing ice damage to all enemies. In AoE scenarios, this talent triggers almost all the time and slowly chips down all enemies' health. He is free to obtain from the simulated universe, and is a good character to have. He makes farming stages so much more faster. Now we have the most underrated character, Arlan, a lightning damage character of the Path of Destruction. He sports a high-risk, high-reward character, where his single target damage skill drains his HP, but has massive multipliers. This low HP playstyle is further focused on with his talent, which increases all of his damage depending on how low his HP is at the moment. His ultimate is simple but with higher multipliers than your average 4-star, dealing high lightning damage to a single enemy and additional lesser damage to adjacent enemies. What makes him a good character is his skill having 0 cost. This enables the player to use more skills on his supports and other damage dealers while still getting a consistent source of damage from him. Although he is prone to dying if not used carefully, I recommend him to players who want to play with greater strategy and see it get rewarded. Here's our main character, the Trailblazer. Their fire form takes the path of preservation, specializing in protecting their team with shields and taking damage for them. Their skill reduces damage taken by them and increases the chances of enemies targeting them. The talent allows them to stack Magma Will up to 8 times, gaining 1 stack when using a skill or basic attack. At 4 stacks, their basic attack will be enhanced, dealing higher damage to a single and adjacent enemy. After using a basic attack, skill, or ultimate, they give their entire team a shield, scaling from very little of the Trailblazer's defense, which lasts for 2 turns. Their ultimate deals fire damage to all enemies, scaling from both their attack and defense, and makes their next basic attack an enhanced basic attack that costs no Magma Will stacks. Unlike other games, the main character here is not to be underestimated. Their shields are very helpful for survivability, especially in the simulated universe, where a lot of buffs activate when characters have shields on. Alright, it's Asta's turn. She's a fire character of the Path of Harmony, specializing in buffing her teammates. She's able to buff fire damage, attack, and speed of all her allies. Her skill deals fire damage 4 times to random enemies on field. Her ultimate increases the speed of her entire party for 2 turns. Her talent increases the attack of all her enemies based on the number of charging stacks she has, up to 5 times. She gains charging stacks for each different enemy she hits, and a bonus stack if the enemy has weakness to fire. The stacks decreases by 3 every turn from the second turn onward. Her traces gives her basic attack a high chance to burn the enemies, making them take fire damage over time from the start of each turn, and increasing damage of all her allies when she's on field. She's a must-have for supporting fire damage dealers like Himeko and Hook, but she's still a very good support for all other teams as well. Dingyun is another Harmony Path character of the lightning element. She buffs attack, lightning damage, regenerates energy, and buffs all damage of a single ally. Her skill is able to buff an ally's lightning damage by a percentage of their attack and their attack by a percentage of her attack. Her ultimate regens energy for an ally and increases their damage. Her talent increases her basic attack damage based on the attack of the ally she buffs with her skill. Dingyun is a must-have if you're using a lightning damage character like Dingyun and Servo, as he gives them a significant damage boost. And last but not the least, we have Natasha, a physical Path of Preservation character which specializes in healing. She's one of the only 2 available healers in the game as of now, and you get her for free. Her skill heals a targeted ally based on her HP, and then gives them additional healing at the start of the next 2 turns. Her ultimate heals the whole party based on her HP. Her talent increases healing for targets below a certain percentage of their HP. Her traces gives her skill the ability to remove 1 debuff from the target. As the only accessible healer in the game, she will be a must build for your account, carrying you throughout most of the early game. Well, that's it for the list. If you found the video helpful, please click on the like button. I'll be making more Honkai Star Rail content and even streaming it here on YouTube. So subscribe for more content like this from me in the future.